kind of was going on Saturday, you think? I'm sure that was frustrating for you guys.
I think it was probably the communication and us playing together and like not being able to execute some of the plays that were called and not being on key with each other. And I want to give Vanderbilt defense some credit for coming out with a good game plan against our run game. And I think it kind of slowed us down in the start and we got behind, so we had to kind of lean on the throwing towards the second half of the game and just took the run game up out of the first half.
Now your guys are heading to Florida State. You haven't played in this game. It's a long-standing history, very heated rivalry. How excited are you for the opportunity, and just how big would this be for the program to kind of end the regular season with that?
I'm very excited because so far this season, every rivalry game we've played from the start, even though the outcome may haven't been what we wanted, it's always been fun to play them. And it's just another one of those rivalry games that we have to come in ready to play from the start. And it's just from what I'm feeling from the other players of the team and from the history that I've noticed, like from just recent research, it's a big game, it's a big rivalry, so it's important that we get this win. And it's important that we get it for the leading into next season and on into both seasons to have momentum going into that time.
Is it frustrating to you guys that you've got 5 losses, but 4 of those games you look at them and you see that a mistake here and there cost you a ball game that you could have won? How frustrating is that?
It can be pretty frustrating at times, especially when we think about how close they were, but I tend to look at it as more of a learning experience instead of letting it be frustrating, as looking at things we could change, like on our part. It's more of like things we did, like my line coach always tell us, it's not about them, it's about us. Like most of the time, our mistakes and things we do bad in the game be from us by shooting ourselves in the foot, and I feel like that's majority of the time things that happen to us. Like the last game was a lot of penalties and just us beating ourselves, and I think looking back on that, that's pretty tough, but looking at it as a learning experience helps out.
How is that frustration coming out within the team? Are you seeing guys kind of stay the course and look at the light at the end of the tunnel, or a loss like this really kind of upset guys?
After the game, of course, guys are going to be upset, but yesterday after we watched the film and kind of put it to bed, you can kind of see the leadership part of the team kind of shines out when we get in these type of moments. Like this isn't our first loss, so we've been here before, so this is time where the leaders of the team kind of really steps up and shows this why they're the leaders, and it kind of keeps the team in check because we got a short week and we got a big rivalry game, so there's no need to mope on the last loss. We need to just get ready for the next game.
There have been quite a few players that have already announced that they're going to be leaving the program if they haven't already. Following a loss like this with a rivalry game on the horizon, what do you do in your position to keep guys bought in for at least one more week?
Just be the best example I can be. Come in, right mind, right focus, and just lead by example. Even if I don't say much, just lead and keep the focus of the team on the main goal, and that's to win the next game, basically. And that's kind of my main focus of doing it in my position group. Me and the other leaders in my position group, and even the other leaders at their position groups are their main focus, just to make sure we stay the course. Yeah, we lost, but it's not the end of the world. We got another game to play, and we need to win it to build momentum going into next season. So that's the main goal, just to keep everybody focused.
Anthony was quarterback this year in terms of leadership.
I seen it grow tremendously from back when I first got here from the spring to him not saying as much, to him now every week he has on the same team meeting, standing up talking after coach, and just being a leader on and off the field, getting us right in the huddle and keeping everybody on time and on point, and whenever people start playing around a little bit, you see him talking more and just being more of a leader, and I seen him grow tremendously in that point.
How satisfying is it for you that you come from a group of 5 program to the SEC and you were thought to be the best offensive lineman in group of 5, and now you're thought to be the best at this level?
It's pretty satisfying when I think about it, because honestly, I didn't think I was going to be able to have as much success this early when I got here, but from the hard work I put in over the summer, and then from the help of my teammates and coaches, we all of that helped out with me and helped me out in this journey. And it really is satisfying when I think about it. And then I probably had a lot of doubts, but I mean, it's just satisfying to be able to come out here and show what I can do and show that I really belong in a Power 5 SEC.
What were your doubts?
Probably not being able to play as well as I think I am, not being able to play as well as I think they're playing, not thinking, because coming out of high school, then many SEC teams look at me, so I kind of about had that in the back of my head. But coming here, kind of crushed all those small little doubts. But, it's those type of little things I put on myself. Yeah.
Coach Napier was asked about why there's so many upsets and craziness in college football these days, and he mentioned that as maybe one of the reasons is the transfers and guys like you coming in and making an impact. You're a football fan, just in general, I assume. When you see stuff like Tennessee get killed by South Carolina and upsets like that, what do you attribute that to? Is it just the new era of college football?
That, and I just kind of think of, it just shows that any team can lose any week. And, just being ready, it don't matter what your record is, it's about being 1-1 each week. And I think that's what kind of those type of games show you that, the record overall doesn't matter as much as about being 1-0 this week. And that's kind of what we've been saying these past few weeks, is just being 1-0 each week. And I think that kind of plays a part, because any team can win any Saturday. I think that game right there kind of shows that that's kind of a fact, yeah.
You talked to the guys at Louisiana about Florida State?
No, sir.
Were you surprised that it was such a one-sided game, FSU, Louisiana, whatever?
Oh, yes, sir, a little bit. I didn't like the score too much.
What were some of the things at Louisiana that allowed for steady improvement under Billy? What were some of the themes that allowed you guys to get better so quickly?
Probably how fast we all bought into what he was coaching us and saying. Probably, and then just the playing together as a team and not splintering when we did have bad games and bad losses. Because there was times in Louisiana where we had bad losses where we should have won, and I feel like in those times we came together as a team and was able to fight back and go on to win the next few games and just play together better. So I feel like those were some of the things that helped us out.
I was asking Billy about people making a rush to judgment, on the direction of the program this early. Did you feel like that's something that maybe he had to contend with right before you got there, when Louisiana went 7-7 and people were like, hold on, where are we going there?
Yeah, I feel like he went through that there too as well. I feel like that's just what a lot of coaches go through their first years in new situations, especially in winning programs, like a program like here who's used to winning and starting off kind of how we did, then kind of hitting bumpy bumps in the road and things like that kind of slowed us down a little bit. And I think it's just something that all coaches kind of go through, but I feel like Coach Napier handled it pretty well.
What was your first impression of Montrell when he first got to Louisiana?
Not much, really. I honestly,
Did you expect him to come what he has?
No, sir. I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't. I didn't pay notice until the first few days of fall camp, and I just started realizing how he ran the ball like a pro from day one, and I started realizing he pretty special. Then the first game came, and then that's when I started realizing he's good.
What is it about him? Everyone struggled this last game running the ball, I know, but leading in, he was really putting it together late in games, getting stronger as it went, kind of thing.
I think it's probably the way we practice, how at the end of we practice hard for those types of moments in games, and I feel like he just get better as the game goes on with reading the defenses and getting better at bringing the linebackers to the line of scrimmage and shifting his course and then hitting the right gaps and things like that. And I feel like it's just a thing that we rep in practice, from team run to even the indie periods to the end of practice. All those reps and reps and reps just shows itself in the game.
Do you ever stop to think that here you are from Greensburg, Louisiana, two stoplights in the whole town, and now all of a sudden you're being thought of as first or second round draft pick? Do you ever think about that?
Sometimes, but I try not to think about it too much because it can probably get a little overwhelming. I'm just trying to focus on finishing in the season best I can, but I think about it a little bit, but I try not to.
You're kind of a big man in town, aren't you? In more ways than one.
Yes, sir. Kind of like the hometown hero. Yeah.